Good morning. I've recently been thinking about what I've not been able to do, or should I say, not allowed to do over the last 10, 11 weeks. And what of those things have I actually missed? Well, I have to confess, I've not missed not being able to go to the gym. But living on my own, I've not had any physical contact for over 10 weeks now with another human being. Don't get me wrong, I've been going out to work most days and I've been interacting with lots of people. And I've also been really lucky enough to continue to see my family and my friends, although at an appropriately social distance. But I've not actually physically touched anyone. I've not held their hand. I've not given a hug. I've not received a hug or a kiss. And I've certainly missed that. Another thing that I've missed is going to church. Probably for the same reasons as I've just mentioned, not being able to shake someone's hand, hug them, kiss them, sit side by side, share the peace together, share communion together. Oh, I know we're all still meeting on YouTube or Zoom or Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. But I miss all the physical togetherness. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I'm getting rather fed up now of being an individual. It's interesting, isn't it, that when we talk about going to church, we're always reminded that church is so much more than just a building or a service on Sunday morning. And yes, there are many benefits to going to church, as I've just mentioned, but we are reminded that Jesus also tells us to go out and make disciples. In this morning's gospel, we see the disciples, or the apostles as they are called for the very first time, being sent out by Jesus. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the labourers are few. Therefore ask the Lord of the harvest to send out labourers into his harvest." This was the mission of the 12. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions. Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, proclaim the good news. The kingdom of heaven has come near. This was a daunting task, and they certainly didn't have YouTube or Zoom, but they did it anyway. A task that they have passed down through generation after generation. And now that daunting task is ours, here, now, today. The disciples were being asked to be the hands, the feet, and the eyes of Jesus back then, just as we are now being asked to be his hands, his feet, his eyes today. As I was preparing for this morning, I came across a quote by Saint Teresa of Avila. Christ has no body now but yours. No hands, no feet on earth, but yours. Yours are the eyes through which he looks compassion on his world. Yours are the feet with which he walks to do good. Yours are the hands through which he blesses the world. Yours are the hands. Yours are the feet. Yours are the eyes. You are his body. Christ has no body now on earth, but yours. It is our job to go into the harvest fields and to seek to reap a crop. That doesn't mean we have to go out and tread the streets of Rotherham buttonholing people about Jesus or standing on a soapbox in All Saints Square. But knowing the love of God does mean sharing the love of God. Therefore, it should be, as it were, radiate from us, like the heat and light radiate from the sun. If the love of God flows into our hearts, it will then flow out from us. We are channels of his love. An ex-bishop, Tom Wright, once said, "The church exists for two closely correlated purposes: to worship God and to work for his kingdom in the world." The church also exists for a third purpose, which serves the other two: to encourage one another, to build one another up in faith, to pray with and for one another, to learn from one another and teach one another and set one another examples to follow. So, however we are doing church right now or spending our time, remember we are not in this alone. We are individuals, it's true, and we can accomplish much as individuals, but not so much as we can achieve together. We are communal as well as individual beings. Even in these times, when we can't physically come together, we can still be channels of his love, proclaiming the kingdom of heaven has come near. We can be one of his workers in his harvest. The disciples were not sent out alone. They had each other. But more importantly, they had Jesus and the power of God. And so do we. We are not alone. We need Christ, and Christ needs us. All of us need all of us. Amen.